How's it going, guys? This is Legacy with Team Evolution, Rush of IKORR, and today we're coming to you with another deck profile. This one I'm pretty excited for. We're coming to you with a SUSANOO deck profile. This is a blue and purple deck, and very excited for this one because my teammate and I have been working on this one quite heavily because we thought that it was a combination that could actually be pretty frustrating to play against. It is definitely very control heavy between both colors. You have a lot of removal, a lot of control cards, but you can also take advantage of trying to win off the secondary win condition with the pyramid. So wanted to get with you on this. We did a gameplay video not too long ago showcasing this deck against Hunhanapu. This deck profile, there are some changes from that list to now that have been done. But I do appreciate anybody's input on the video and anything else that anyone is saying on any of the other videos. So yeah, as always, appreciate the watches, the supports, and all of the comments and everything. So again, with that being said, going to be going over this deck profile. This is kind of our secret spicy deck that we've been working on that I've been kind of hinting at, and I'm just excited to show it to you guys. A couple things, some other videos I have planned, some more deck profiles, some more gameplay videos with some things that we've definitely fixed and changed, just knowing some more rulings and stuff like that. And then on top of that, I have some plans for some card reviews for the second set, because the second set has a ton of really cool cards, and I'm working on some card reviews for that. Speaking of which, this deck, this color combination, this avatar specifically, is going to get a lot of really good support in the second set. So I'm very excited to make the upgrades when that set comes out. Well, let's get into the deck. So again, the whole purpose of this deck was trying to be kind of just control based, right? Blue and purple have very powerful removal cards within both colors, and this card's avatar ability is to retreat an allied champion. So being able to bounce one of your cards back to get the IKORR and put it onto the pyramid, or just to reuse certain abilities, is really strong. Its rush ability is until the end of the turn, when when a allied champion would be retreated, it strikes an opposing champion first and then retreats, which is really great because it can act as a form of removal before you actually retreat the card. So it's very good. So let's get into what we have on the list. Starting off, we obviously have two pyramids. This is kind of the, I'm not gonna say it's the heart and soul of the deck. It's definitely not the heart and soul of the deck, but this is just a big part of the condition, because pyramid says that whenever a champion you control leaves the field, that IKORR goes onto this. So there are plenty of moments where you can retreat cards or just get things off the board to fill this up, and then we're playing a bunch of cards to obviously secure it. So these are definitely part of the game plan to just give you that alternate win condition, since a lot of the times you don't really have a lot of stuff on the board. So that's what that's for. To start things off with the champions, we have two laborers with the Roaring Aegis on it. This makes it to where our allied an allied avatar's an avatar's power costs 0 this turn. So really, it's a simple play line with this. What you want to do with the pyramid is you play it, you raid, and then for 0 you bounce it back to get it on the pyramid and then secure it. So it's kind of like being able to secure IKORR like the turn that it's played by going through that combo line with the pyramid. Otherwise, if there are moments like that you don't have the pyramid or you don't necessarily bounce this, we can just utilize this as a cheap way to bounce another champion that we want to bounce. So it's just a really good kind of, again, combo piece for the deck. And then we have two Shinobis. On this one, we stuck activate a location. So again, we have a lot of ways to get the IKORR onto the pyramid, but we also need ways to move that IKORR over quicker, or just in moments where we're trying to control the game and we're trying to win the game in different moments where it doesn't seem like we really can, by just collecting that IKORR on the pyramid. There are a ton of things you can stick to this if you don't want to do that. I mean, you could stick Fine Weapon and give it +1 attack. You could give it the one where at the end of the turn, if it attacked, you can draw a card. But this card's just great because it has Swift, and then at the end of the turn, if it attacked, you can retreat it, right? So you can play this, secure an IKORR, attack something. If it doesn't die, it just goes back to your hand, and then you can do it on the next turn. So again too, there's also the aspect of your avatar power. So you could play this, activate a location, bounce it, play it again, activate it again, right? So there's different combo ways, kind of like playing a Blessing of Isis on the body itself, and you can just kind of manipulate it that way. So it's been working really good. We have 2 wheat farmers. The 2 infusions that we have on the farmers are Hermes Lyre and Headdress. We do have like 4 Mayans in the deck, so Headdress is fine to just kind of protect this, but you could kind of put whatever you want on it that's within that 1 dot range. You can play Foresight, you can make it fine weapon, give it fine weapon, and give it +1 attack. You know, you can do a bunch of different things. It doesn't really matter. Lyre, again, is just another good card, I think, to put on the cow, just because it gives everything +1 raid until the end of the turn. So it's just a cheap, efficient way to just gain more IKORR. But again, with these, you know, they're kind of flexible with what we have access to them right now, but you could do a few other things with them. 2 Industrious Farmers. So on this one, we have Curious Relic. So there were a few things that we were testing with this deck, and this was one card that wasn't in the gameplay video, but this deck's early games are moderately weak, so we wanted another card that could kind of help us in that early game. And with this, it's basically a good way to try and, you know, fix your hand to make your turn 2 play more consistent. But then also it's a body and it's a Maya. So you can, that's why we play the Headdress on the other farmer, because this is another Maya. You have the additional body that you can utilize on turn 2 if you need it. So it's not like excellent by any means, but it is definitely one of the better turn 1 things that we were able to do with this deck to just keep it consistent and have a body on turn 1. And then we have 1 Heterodome with the Eye of Ra. So if you have Eye of Ra, find a way to play it. That's all I'm basically going to say about that. I know some of the ultra rare infusions are a little tough to get in this game, and I get that. But if you do have Eye of Ra, just find a way to stick it on something that's cheap. That way you can keep using it. In this deck, it's very good with the Avatar power, because you can play it, use it, and then bounce it back, use it again the next turn. So there's a lot of ways that you can kind of abuse Eye of Ra on a cheap champion in this deck specifically. Then we have 2 Accomplished Architects. This is pretty standard. There's no reason to really explain this card. It searches for your pyramid, and we have experience on it, so it's going to gain +1 raid. Again, when it comes to infusions, you can kind of do whatever you want. There's a ton of 2 dot and 1 dot infusions that you can stick to this thing, but I think just, again, trying to gain IKORR, trying to just take advantage of the game, this is one of the better ones. Being able to play this on turn 2, search for pyramid, raid. If it sticks, then on the next turn, you play pyramid, you raid again. Now, no matter what, you're going to end up with hopefully 2 IKORR, at least on the pyramid, or secured no matter what. So this is just a pretty standard card in a deck like this. 2 Yamabushis. This was kind of our other consistency piece that we thought of to help us get to pyramid. So we put the Contemplate and Permanence on it, which means when it dies, you get to draw a card. So the way that I've been playing this, and it seems like the correct way, is that the action is to sacrifice this. Target player may search their deck for a location and put it on top of their deck. So you play this, you sacrifice it, you put pyramid on top of your deck, and then the death trigger will happen, and then you draw a card, presumably drawing the pyramid that you just put on top of the deck. So it's basically just another way to get pyramid into your hand. That way on turn 3, you can play it on curve. We have 2 Ashigari Spearmen with Eager. You know, a 2-drop with Swift and Quick Strike is nice to have, just as that early board or that early game is sometimes a little rocky depending on the deck you're playing against. So this definitely can come in and just kind of help control that early board, or just at any time come down and deal 2 damage. And if it sticks around with Quick Strike, then that's great. It's also nice if you play this on curve with, say, like the Industrious Farmer, just because then you have 2 bodies that can kind of deal 3 damage to something if you need to early game. And again, this is another card that you can kind of put whatever you want on it. There's plenty of infusions that say if it attacks, you can do something or whatever, but I think Eager in this case is a good combination with a cheap Quick Strike. Then we have 2 Swift Messengers. I still stand by putting Scroll of Curses and Kusanagi no Tsurugi, I think is how I'm saying that right, which is when it strikes a champion, that champion gets stunned and it draws a card. So you're effectively going to draw 3 cards with one of them and stun something. And Scroll of Curses stuns something on summon, and that card can also not be retreated and loses all of its abilities. So Scroll of Curses is very broken. It's another ultra rare infusion, so if you don't have it or you can't get your hands on it, again, this thing is a 3-dot. You can stick anything on this card. You can put the one that gives it quick strike. You can put the one that gives it extra attack. You can, I mean, literally any infusion in the game that you have, you could find an alternative. But if you do have a Scroll of Curses, especially with an avatar that bounces cards, you know, to play this and draw 2 cards and then, you know, potentially bounce it back to the hand after stunning something and then playing it again and stunning something again, like Scroll of Curses is a very good infusion to have with this avatar. So if you have it, play it. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I guess you could argue that Scroll of Curses could also be on one of the 1-drops just because it makes the Scroll of Curses a lot cheaper to play, obviously. Because you could go like play a 1-drop with Scroll of Curses and stun something, you know, pay 2 to bounce it, pay 1 again, so you can kind of get 2 stuns for 4 in a turn, which could be good. But just because of how I have the 1-drops in this game, I felt like this one was fine to do. So yeah, if you have it, play it. If not, there's a bunch of alternatives. 2 Ashwagandha Gunner, just another good 3-drop. We have the Mystic Ankh on this one to give it +2 health, so it's a 3/2/5 that rage for 2 and deals 1 damage. So it's just a good way to kind of help maintain that those early few turns, basically. And then 1 Fox with the Helm of Hades. So this card is really fun in this deck. Basically, it comes down, you get to void something else for the turn, so you can pick any of your own cards to put the IKORR on the pyramid. You can interrupt your opponent, so like they can't secure anything. But with Helm of Hades, it can be attacked and is unaffected by card effects. So basically, the turn you play this, it's just going to stay there. And then in the next turn, you can bounce it back, play it again, and you can just kind of manipulate this as much as you want. So that can be a pretty fun card. That's all the infusion-based cards. The next cards are all the Fableds. So we're playing Chiyomi, lethal, strike something on summon, has a good body. This card is just going to be a good removal mid-range piece, so gotta play it. 2 Toyotomi. This card is just cracked. It's just most of the time a really good board wipe against the aggro decks. And it just gets in there. It just helps control the board on turn 5. So I really like that card. 1 Pegasus, because we can bounce it. 1 of this girl, I can never pronounce her name, but obviously with double activation of infusion or of the pyramids, it's good to have. 1 Odysseus, I'd probably play 2 if I had another one, and 1 Achilles. So that's it for all of the champions. For the spells, it's pretty simple. We play 2 Thunderbolts, 2 Theorist, 2 Blessing of Isis, 2 Overindulgence, 1 Tsukuyomi's Twilight, and 1 Typhoon. In a tournament setting where you might run into more Maya decks, I would argue that Typhoon could probably be played at 2, but it's fine where it's at. So yeah, we've been working on this deck hard, and we've definitely settled on kind of this list. It seems to be performing the best right now. I will say Mayas are kind of the only thing that can kind of truly beat this deck, because they're the only things that can win fast enough. If you let this deck get to turn 5 and beyond, any other type of deck that is slow is going to have a really difficult time against this deck, because it's just going to deal with everything that gets put on the board. And it can still do really well against the Maya decks. It's just, you know, they can obviously be a little too fast, a little too aggressive, but you can still have your moments where this deck can win those games. But yeah, that's the deck. Let me know what you think. Again, we have some more profiles coming soon. I appreciate all the views, like I said already. And yeah, excited to go over some set 2 cards and just have some more gameplay footage to show everybody. So with that being said, we'll see you guys next time.